All right, guys. So, first one of the year. I'm going to try and do some more YouTube content for you guys this year, and wanted to start off by doing a kind of stuff I carry in my britches on a daily basis. So, EDC or just whatever kind of crap you shove in your pants. So we'll do this as a multi-part thing. I think it'll be the stuff I usually carry day to day, and then I've got kind of a larger fanny pack. I'll show you some fanny pack options um, that I throw in the car with me, and then from there I'll show you a bag, and everything just kind of layers on itself. So going back to the good old fashioned nut and fancy days, it's all my systems. So all right, guys. So to start off, um, belt. So this is a Craft and Lore mountain belt. So Craft and Lore, super cool leather goods shop out of Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Um, the guy that runs it is an awesome guy. Highly recommend checking him out. I've tried a whole bunch of different leather belts and never really been super happy, but I mean, this is just rock solid, stiff, super comfortable, looks good, breaks in well, and I've just beat the shit out of this thing for like 2 years. So, Craft and Lore mountain belt. Highly recommend you guys checking them out. They're good people over there. They make really good product. Some kind of a timepiece, whatever you want. Just be able to tell the time without a phone. This is one of the older, was it Casio Protrax, that was around before Garmin watches got all big and hot. So you've got a compass, altimeter, barometer, just some basic stuff on there. I say it's basic. It's pretty cool stuff. But yeah, just have it be able to do the functions that you need. And then the other thing is going to be some kind of, and we're kind of getting down a rabbit hole here, but some kind of life flight insurance. That may not sound like the coolest EDC thing, but some form of helicopter EMS. Those flights are wildly expensive if you live out anywhere, especially if you're rural, like I am. A helicopter's coming one way or another, and that's a minimum of 30 grand. And insurance companies are real good at denying those claims. So for us, Airlift Northwest is like $75 a year for the whole family. Highly recommend you guys checking something like them out, and just cover your bases that way. It's not the cool, sexy stuff, but it's stuff that you really should be looking into, especially if you're looking to take care of your family. So I'll kind of do some rearranging throughout the video, but we'll put some stuff on the table here and we'll kind of cut to that. All right, so I keep all of this in my pants every single day. No. So this is just a kind of a sample of some of the options that I kind of run through, depending on where I'm going, what I'm doing, time of year, if I can rock. So I'm up in Idaho. These kind of Carhartt vests. Let's see if you can see these. These Carhartt vests, they give me like another 4 pockets. So thin items, small stuff like another tourniquet, some more gauze, something like that. So let's walk through most likely to least likely on this continuum of stuff that guys in 2025 shove in their britches. So wallet's not on here, car keys aren't on here, right? Wallet, phone, keys, that kind of joke. But Grail, so I'll always have some kind of a container for water. So this isn't a Dave Canterbury 5 C's of survival. It's I don't know, it's just weird to me that people leave the house without water. It's just kind of a basic human necessity. The Grail is great. It's not every time I'm going to grab the Grail filter bottle, but most of the time it is. They come in 16 or 24 ounces, and we'll do a water video here. It's something I really want to do. So we'll do a water video the next month or so, and I'll kind of walk you through how I use it. But basically, this can get rid of pretty much anything nasty in the water. Bacteria, protozoa, viruses, heavy metals, toxins, microplastics, all that good stuff that is in our tap water. And if you've ever actually seen the inside of like a municipal water line, it's pretty fucking gross generally. So I can fill this up pretty much anywhere. You can go to a stream, you can do all your bushcrafty stuff, or you can just fill it up a spigot from the side of a building if you have to, or some nasty water fountain at the gym. Do that a lot with this, or just a faucet, right? Just a sink. You can go to a Walmart bathroom sink and fill this up, filters it out just fine. So get you a container, a little 550 on there, and then I'll just use a small little S-beaner, clips on the belt. So super important to have. Highly recommend you have some way of carrying water. I know, right? This isn't all, Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne. It's a regular dude with a water bottle. Not what you thought you'd get into, huh? A small Right in the Rain and a little space pen. I use my phone for notes a lot, but sometimes you want to do a handwritten note, or maybe you got to hand something off. You don't want to necessarily give someone your phone number, but you write your note, hand it off, whatever, notes. Some chapstick. As we go, I'm going to put some of this crap back in my pockets because it's actually everyday carry. So, Right in the Rain, small pen, a lighter of some kind, the Zippos, or usually it'll be a Bic that I carry. Just a way to light a cigarette, start a fire, do some wild Tarzan bushcraft. But yeah, I throw a little 100-mile-an-hour tape on there. Honestly, I use the lighter for the tape mostly. You get about a foot or two of tape on these things, and use them for all sorts of stuff, man. An impromptu Band-Aid, a million uses. The tape is honestly what I use it the most for. And then just an old Zippo that I had. Someone explained, or I heard someone say it one time, I don't remember who it was, but Zippos are like 1911s. They're beautiful to look at, but they require a ton of maintenance. That's very true. This little shitty Bic lighter, that's like the Glock. Like, these things just work and they work and they work. And then when they stop working, you just throw it away. So, headphones. These are some fairly cheap ones off of Amazon, but I think the brand is Tozo. But they've got a really cool feature that if you tap them, they either will cancel all the noise, which sometimes is what you want, or they will allow you to hear normally with them in. So it's kind of cool. I've been in places where I have them in and I tap that little button because I want to, still have some kind of awareness. But I can still hear everything, and you'll be surprised at what people say behind your back when they think you've got headphones in. So cool little feature there. Here is a little pill baggie. So in there, got a Zofran, some Imodium, Pepto, Benadryl, a couple ibuprofen, a couple of Tylenol, and 4 81-milligram baby aspirins. So highly recommend that if you need it for any kind of a cardiac reason. And a little coin pocket is also good to shove a couple pair of gloves in. So as far as this being the Gorilla Medic channel, this is really all I carry medically for the most part. Some meds, a couple pairs of gloves. I carry a Softy wide tourniquet. They just fold up better than a cat, but I carry one of those, and I'll carry some Quick Clot combat gauze. So it's really nothing crazy, but that's as far as I carry medically. Like, I don't do the ankle rigs. I don't do all this other wild shenanigans. There's really not a whole lot of instances where I'm more than a couple hundred yards from my car. And we've already done a car vag video for med, but that's really all you need. Everything else, like, you can run to your car. If you get into some wild OK Corral gunfight and you need it right then and there, all right, nothing you can do about the bullet with your name on it, but a tourniquet, some Quick Clot combat gauze, gloves. If you really need a chest seal or something, you can use the tape off of a Bic lighter, and you can fashion it out of the plastic packaging of your gauze. So in all my years, this is, it's done everything I've ever needed it to do. just going out and about in town, honestly. And then Band-Aids. In my wallet, I keep some Band-Aids and some moleskin. So realistically, that's what you're going to be you're going to be using is the boo-boo stuff. Again, it gets cold here, real cold. So a beanie, flashlights. I usually alternate between these two. So this is a Surefire stiletto. So let's see if I can do this. So you click once for a low beam, twice, and then 3 times when it goes high. Or you can hit the back and it just goes to high. So I like this, the clip on it. I can just stick it on my hat, and now I've got a headlamp. But man, whoever came up with the Surefire Max Vision Beam, I don't know why they did it. I really don't. There's very little candela to this thing. Like when I take my dog out, to the fence line is 75, 100 yards maybe. And I'm always looking for the deer that hop the fence because they scare the shit out of my dog when he goes out in the middle of the night. But yeah, this guy is great for like around the home kind of tasks. I carry this in my pocket most of the time when I'm at home. It's rechargeable too. So a little USB, and you can just charge her up. You don't have to worry about like a 18650 or an 18350 charger. And it works great for that, but anything past, 50 yards, you're really pushing it. This guy is what I most commonly will carry. Light is huge. When I lived in a city, there's not a ton that's really past that, range of what I would use the Surefire stiletto for, and it would work great. But you come out here, man, and it gets real thick, real wooded, real quick, and there's some, large quadrupeds in the area. There's also crackheads and stuff usually, but like if you want to check the woods real quick, this guy. So it's the PLH V2 head, but it's got way more candela, and that's really what I look for in a light is candela. It's also an 18650 in here, so you can use it, recharge it, works great. Task light, daily carry light. All right, now for all the stuff that everybody's here for probably. So this is a Black Triangle G10 Stabby Boy. Sometimes you have to take all your cool guy stuff off and don't want to be completely left helpless and a victim. Granted, you should know some hand-to-hand, but I'll always take a weapon if I can. Another use case for this guy is there's 0 metal in this thing. We've wanted it before, works out great. But I've taken it like when I go into the ocean. So at the beach or whatever, just tuck that little bad boy in there and it's not going to rust because there's no metal. So this guy's been pretty cool. I really like having this. This goes pretty much everywhere with me if I have to download something, go through a metal detector or whatever. If it's not completely illegal to do it, then I'll carry it. But the whole I don't advocate for breaking any laws, yada yada yada. Daily carry knife. I've got a couple. Most of them are Benchmades. So I don't know. My dad got me a Benchmade when I was like 16, and it's just kind of been the brand that I've gone with. This guy is what is this? It is a Victorinox Cadet. Oh, dude, like the OG throwback to Nut and Fancy. Bought this many, many years ago because he's like, you got to get a Cadet. And they're awesome little knives, man. A little blade on them, bottle opener, can opener, just pretty much everything you need it to. It's super thin. So in the summer, if I carry a fixed blade, then I don't really have to worry about any kind of a broken blade with a folder. So if I need to, I'll just ditch this and carry this in, board shorts or whatever. Super lightweight. Non-lethals. So these are I think they're DefTech. Yeah, DefTech, Defense Technology. So they work great. As often as I can, I will always try to have a non-lethal option. Not just for people, but dogs. You're going out walking your dog, and some other dog just decides that wants to run up on yours. It's way easier to explain that you pepper sprayed someone's dog than it is that you shot their dog. Granted, in Idaho, if it's threatening you, you're golden to blast it, but I love dogs. I'd really don't want to do that. So these guys, tiny little boy, throw it in your pocket. I'll do that a lot. This is a Saber one, but usually it's this guy that comes with. It's got a nice little clip. And I'll just carry it like this, going in and out of Walmart, whatever you're doing. Some dude just is losing his mind or whatever and decides he wants to kick it up with you. Just a little blasteroo and you're on your way. And then you don't got to go to court for manslaughter and all that other wild shit. So highly recommend a non-lethal option. And it's, have them, hand them out. My wife takes them when he goes, takes the dog out, all that stuff. So definitely looking to get in something like that. All right, the blasters. We'll probably start with the revolver. All right, so kind of reshuffled some stuff, so hopefully you can see it a little bit better. Starting with the revolver. So this bad bear is a 442. Yeah. So Smith 442, 38. You can do plus P in it. Awesome gun. Yeah, it's 5 rounds, but I carry it quite often. Pick where you live, man. Yes, violence can happen anywhere, and I've got something should it arise, but the likelihood I'm going to use that is much lower than if I live somewhere like LA, New York, big cities, even Boise, nowhere near Boise, but I'm sorry, Boise. Been told I don't pronounce that correctly. But yeah, this bad bear, I love it. It's super light. Throw it in some shorts. It works great. Wheel guns are great because they're similar like shotguns. You can pick the rounds. So you just get some Bianchi, whatever, speed strips. What are they called? Oh, shit, they are. Speed strip. I did remember. So you can put your 38 plus P or whatever. But what I'll frequently use it for is if we're going to an area for vacationing, going out to Arizona or whatever, there's a lot of snakes that I'm concerned about. Then I'll have an actual gun, and then I'll have a snake gun. So you get the, see if you can hear them. Yeah. So snake rounds, just all the little, it's like birdshot out of a revolver. So that's what I use it for. I'm sure you could use for other purposes. But so yeah, going somewhere, snake rounds go in there, and then those are for the 2-legged variety. But great gun. I think everyone should have a wheel gun in their collection. Just a super convenient gun to carry around, and they're lightweight. The two mains are going to be, so this guy, so a Glock 19. This is an old Gen 4. Still kicking. Love this thing to death. And it's got a TLR 7 on it. 7A, I think. So the two holsters she lives in is this one I got from a shop in town. And this one. This is a T-Rex one. So if I want to carry it outside the waistband, works out pretty well. This is also a T-Rex one. This is for this guy. But these things, the belt loops they have for them, they pull the gun tight to you, but they are pretty fucking flimsy. I've already broken 2 of them. Got caught on a bag when I was pulling it forward, and it just snapped it off. And I've had to order a bunch of replacements. But I am probably going to change these out for like the old school Raven concealment, Bravo concealment, the little blocks that they had. Dude, those things were rock solid. I've never had a problem with those. But yeah, I don't know, it's super thin. So I'm not happy about that. It definitely hugs the gun tight to you. Other than that, I really like the holsters. This is a 17 plus 5 with an Arredondo plate on it. So between the two, this guy lives in the pocket as a reload. And so reloads, some guys carry them, some guys don't. I personally do. I had it explained to me, and I thought it was a pretty sound point. What do you think is going to break first, the $600 gun or the $35 magazine? Probably the mag, right? So if I do have a problem with it, ditch that, put it in, gas it up, and go to work. It's not that I think I'm going to go through 17 plus 1 and then 17 plus 5. I don't generally think that, but I do like having more bullets. So that's why I do. The Glock ones work well too. Some people shit on them. I've never had a problem with the Glock 21 rounders. And it's a way cheaper option. This base plate is like $45. The mag is 35 or whatever. So you're pushing like what, $80 for a fucking mag. And the Magpul ones are 20, 21. So this guy, holster is from Etsy. I've actually had a ton of luck with holsters on Etsy. I figured out the style that I like. I like the monoblock up front here, and it just works well for me. So IWB holster from Etsy. And so X300, and this is an OG 509T. And I think it has a C&H plate on it. But man, this thing has been a fucking tank, beating the shit out of it. It is worn to hell, and it still works, holds zero, never had an issue with it. I love it. I've got buddies that got RMRs, Acros, Delta Points. They've all had issues. This motherfucker is still running, so I really like it. Works for me. Closed emitter, open emitter. I like closed emitter because I'll carry this OWB, go out and do whatever. Snow is a real thing up here. You fall, get covered in snow. Generally, I haven't had snow get packed into here when I do fall. But if I do, bloop, and then it's clean. So I've heard guys that are like, oh, closed emitters are fine. You just shoot and then all the snow is gone. You shot with no dot. Like, yeah, you can do it, but personal preference, I would rather see what I'm shooting. So Etsy holster, I wish I could give credit where it's due. I don't know who made that, but you rock. And then OWB is this bad bear. So OWB, the T-Rex ones work pretty well, and local or Etsy, honestly, is where I go. I think I just typed in Glock 17 X300 holster, something like that. But yeah, so this is a 45, but I do have a Gen 5 19, so if I wanted to cut the ½ inch off or whatever, we just swap that out. So some variation of this is on me on a daily basis. Going to get the groceries, taking the kid wherever I need to take them, heading into town, doing whatever, working outside, doing chores, whatever it is. Generally, some variation of this is in my pockets all the time. Like there's a couple of things that I'm an absolutionist on, but it's not so much the equipment. It's just what I want to have. For example, so I need a light, a knife, a gun, and a tourniquet. Right. And as far as tools go, I'm golden. Everything else is the usuals. Like I feel empty if I don't have it, but going out doing pretty much whatever, it's going to be those guys. So this is the daily stuff. And then I'm going to try and split this up into a couple of videos. So we'll call this the daily carry. And from there, I think we'll do the fanny as its own thing. And then we'll do a little bag that I carry around. All this is in the pockets. Then there's the fanny. Usually it's like a shoulder bag. I kind of run it as, just kind of over a crossbody bag. And then that fanny gets shoved into the bag, the backpack, and then you throw some other crap in there. So it's a pretty good system. It's worked well for me. It doesn't have to be the kitchen sink, but depending on mileage and how far away from home I'm going, depends on what I carry. So guys, I hope you got something out of it. I'm going to try and do more YouTube content this year in general, but kind of wanted to give you a little bit of a way to start the year with the channel. So appreciate the likes, the subscribes, all that stuff. Please do the compulsory like, comment, subscribe, share, all that stuff. It does help the channel grow, and met a lot of cool people in person, and chatted with you online through Instagram page, as well as the podcast and here on YouTube. So, all right, boys, we'll catch you next time.